Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast with Doug and Brad. It's been about a month since our last episode. Been kind of busy deer hunting. What have you been up to, Doug?
Muskies, and muskies.
Nice. Your season is pretty much done right now. You got rid of the boat.
I turned the boat in the 1st of December. Now we're starting to gear up for ice. So
yeah, can't wait. Probably by the end of next week, I would think, with this cold weather we got. Inlet will be froze up. Probably Lake Como.
If you take our average temperature, average it out over a 24-hour period, and as long as we don't have a bunch of wind next week, Delavan should be iced up by next Sunday. Not that it'll be walkable, but it should be locked up.
Yeah.
If our temperatures that they're forecasting stay how they're supposed to, we should have 4 inches of ice on that lake by New Year's.
I would think so.
Right.
Yeah.
So New Year's we'll start our ice guiding season.
Nice.
I don't know that it'll be on Delavan. Probably be just a little bit north of here. New Year's Day or New Year's Eve we're running our first trip as long as the ice works out for us. We're 125 apiece. We're starting at 4 p.m. going till 2 a.m. and we're going to run walleyes.
Nice. And you're doing a big group?
Yeah, we've already got, I think, 8 people signed up, 10 people signed up. We're not taking deposits just in case Mother Nature changes her mind.
Sure.
But it should be a good time. Hopefully, I mean, with the amount of guides I have, I don't care how many people we get. We have the equipment for them.
Right.
So once you get about 30 people, then we start topping out. But like I said, we're going to start at 4 p.m., run till probably 2 a.m., cook for you about 10 o'clock.
Nice.
And you've been on the ice with me. I've always got water. I got soda.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we like cooking brat patties.
Yeah. It'd be a blast. What a way to bring in the new year out there on the ice chasing walleyes.
With the Tony Evers virus, nobody really wants to be in a bar. Some people do. But like for me, that's not my thing.
Sure.
So I thought, man, this is just a great way. Everybody's outside. Everybody's safe.
Yeah.
What a way to start your ice season.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting pumped, getting all my ice gear ready to go.
Man, your store is 100% changeover. Pretty
much. We're kind of filling some empty slots and all that, but otherwise, yes, it is 100% switched over to ice now. We got a lot of new products in there, a lot of new jigs, just gear, tackle, everything. We got St. Croix ice rods, which we've mentioned before, so that's new for us this year.
You're carrying shanties this year. I saw that.
Yep, got a few shacks. So.
You got the Strike Master bibs and Strike Master coats.
Yep, the floating ice suits.
How many shanties do you have that you rent out?
I have 3 ice shacks pull behind. They're set up real nice.
I've used them. I just didn't know how many you have. When I run out of equipment, that's when I always rent from you.
Yeah. We got 2 drop down. They're on a drop down trailer, which is pretty nice. So you drop them down and they sit flat right on the ice.
Well, hopefully next week at this time or right before Christmas, we're doing ice reports.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking probably next week, I guess. Maybe Friday, Saturday, something like that. If we start getting some ice, we'll be out there with the camera doing our video ice report that we always do the last couple of years, which are great. A lot of guys like that.
I didn't realize till today our game warden actually likes that.
Yeah.
He says, make sure you send that to me because then he knows what he's walking into.
Yeah.
That's why we try to do it with the tape measure.
We get a lot of guys coming up from Illinois and even north of here too. If they're in an area that doesn't have ice, they like watching the videos and all that. Get quite a few guys coming up from Indiana also.
Well, who wants to drive 3 hours to find out you can't fish?
Right.
And you can't believe everything on the social media threads.
No.
Or some of the other pages, that tell you they were somewhere when they weren't. Like last year where somebody was saying there was 4 and 5 inches out here, and it's like, look, I pulled a tape measure. There was 2 inches of ice on that lake.
Yeah, there's your video proof right there. So.
Yeah, well,
and then they argue with you about it, but whatever.
The whole idea is that somebody doesn't get hurt, and then they want to argue, well, this guy said, brother, I pulled a tape measure. What else you want me to do? I mean, you want to go. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, we're just out there, have fun, and make sure everybody's safe and all that, and just something fun to do.
And just so you know, you are out of the Okuma Seamar bait feeders in the 500 series.
Oh, okay.
Because I just bought every one you had.
Nice.
Because I don't think I can get them direct right now.
That's a hot reel.
Well, I'm going to try them on Jim Sullivan. Put me on his team with the Sullivan tip downs.
Nice.
So I'm going to try them on the tip downs. He sent me 4 with the flags that...
tip drops. Sullivan tip drops. Which are like a tip down.
I got the tip downs. Or do I not?
It's a tip drop.
Okay. Well, the Sullivan tip drops that I have. He sent me 4 with the light up flag to try for walleyes. And then he sent me 4 for during the day to try for crappies. So we'll see how those work out for me. And then...
I'm gonna find it just to make sure, because now you got me second guessing.
Yeah, we're professional. We're sitting here looking at our phones now to see it.
Well, that was like I got a little bit of hate from someone that didn't like our podcast because we are not professionals and we need to be more professional. And it's like we're just having fun talking about fishing and everything. And
that was great when he said that our recording.
Oh no, you're right. It's the Sullivan tip down.
You'll have them in the store here pretty quick.
Oh no, he does call it the tip drop too. Yeah, Sullivan tip downs, but tip down is the tip drop. I think that's the bracket he uses.
Well, I know he went through a bunch of stuff to get those on Amazon finally, too.
Yeah.
That guy's a hustler. I mean, he's got a good product, simple, he's very responsive, and Jim's just constantly going and doing what he has to do to get his product out there.
Yeah.
It looks to me like it's going to work great. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
I don't know how to freeze my bathtub or something to try them, so I got to wait for Mother Nature.
Yeah, I'll be placing an order for him here. Probably in the next couple of days. He sent me the information. We had them last year and just ran out, so I got to get some more in the shop.
As current fishing reports go right now, I do know that they're doing very well on the walleyes on Geneva right now.
Yeah, I've talked to quite a few guys too that they've been killing the walleyes out there. It's been insane.
Well, that's good though. Now with this colder weather, hopefully we'll start locking up and we can get on some hard water here. Turning my boat in December 1st, and my new one will be here March 1st. Almost all of November, I did nothing but muskies. Fishing a half a trip as our averages stayed the same. I almost got it up to 2 fish a trip. I got Todd his biggest muskie of his life. I got Mike Juneman his biggest muskie of his life. I got a couple people their first muskie.
Nice.
You know, you're almost ready to be done because it's getting cold. You're tired. You've ran so many trips. Then you get days like last Wednesday and Thursday where it's 50 degrees, a little bit of wind.
Yeah.
Man, you miss it.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get a day like today where it's snowing, raining, sleeting.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my 4-wheeler that's behind your building. I'm thinking, man, time to get that thing ready. And I'm excited for ice again.
Yeah.
You know?
There's one brave soul out on Delavan right now.
I see. I'm looking right at his gray truck with his trailer.
No.
Not saying that I wouldn't be out there because I've done some really dumb stuff, but man, it'd have to be a pretty good bite to have me out there today in this.
Yeah, there's a few guys getting some walleye out there. Geneva, most guys have just been targeting Geneva. It's been hot.
Well, for me, so Geneva, we're a trolling bite. If you got guys in my boat that can cast at night without spotlighting the water, leaving their headlamp on, I'd rather cast them.
Sure.
Delavan, I think my opinion, is a better night walleye bite this time of year if you can cast them. If you got to troll them, you got to go to Geneva. Because on Delavan, they come up so shallow right now.
Right.
You start getting them Rapalas past them on Delavan, it's real simple. 3 cranks, pause, and you catch all the walleyes you wanted in the night.
Sure.
And it's a good time. But Geneva's, everybody's looking for that 14-pounder. In all my years of guiding, I've never broke 28 inches on Delavan.
Yeah.
I've caught some big walleyes out here. I've just never seen one over 28. I thought Steve Everett's told me he had one bigger than that a few years ago, but I've never hit one bigger than that.
28's a big fish out on Delavan.
Oh, absolutely. But Delavan should be full of people here. I would think in the next 2 to 3 weeks we'll see all the people, and
oh yeah,
it'll be crazy.
Yeah, probably by next weekend with some ice on the inlet by the boat launch there'll be a lot of guys out there just itching to get on the ice and get some jigs in the water and try to catch some bluegills and crappies and whatnot.
Well, if the inlet freezes up by next weekend and there's good 3-4 inches of ice on it, I will be guiding walleyes out there that night.
Sure.
Because I'm ready. You put the boat away, you relax for a couple days, then you go in the basement and you start taking out all the beaver dam tip-up bags.
Yeah.
Now I have 42 tip-ups laying in my living room. They were all set for pike because that's how we finished last year. So then, I got a 12-pound spool of soft steel out.
Yeah.
It's time to start tying up walleye leaders. And
it takes a lot of time rigging up all them tip-ups.
My God. Being in guiding the ice is a lot more work than guiding open water. Open water, especially in the summer, or the spring, even the early fall. We've got 2 or 3 presentations where primarily we're going to fish bass in the morning. We're going to fish largemouth or smallmouth. Middle of the day trip is usually when I get to families, so then I put them over them big pumpkin seeds and them little smallies, just so they're having fun and they got constant action. In the afternoon, same thing, we're back on bass or we're on pike.
Sure.
Either way, it doesn't matter. And you go home, boat stores 16 rods, maybe a trip to here to get some suckers, but other than that, I've got everything.
Yeah.
Disconnect the boat, you're done. Ice fishing, if we start our trip at 7, that means my morning starts about 3:30. Go through everything, fix anything that's tangled up, tie new jigs on, all of this going. Get everything set up at 6, get out here by 5:36, get everything set up, meet the customers, get them on the ice. First group on at 7, get the next one on at 7:30, the next one on at 8. And,
it's a lot of work.
So say you got 10 people, so just say you got 3 groups of 3. Let's say you got 9 people. So at 9 people, I got a second guide with me. That's 27 tip-ups that are going out, unless they're jigging. If they're jigging, then, we might have 20 tip-ups out. Plus, we're also going to have them jigging, and then you got to help them a little bit to get them going. Once they're going, you get them a little bit of heat in the shanty, and they get comfortable. Then you can go out, check all your tip-ups, and you're nonstop, though.
Oh, yeah. It's nonstop, checking tip-ups and making sure they're on the fish and moving, drilling holes.
Yeah, so say we get off at 5. By the time customer's gone, or we get them back, say it's 5 o'clock, get home, it's 5:30. If it rained out, or if it snowed out, you're opening your garage, you're turning heat on, and you're opening up every one of your shanties so it can dry out.
Yep.
So what you just put away, you're pulling back out. You're checking all your stuff, making sure it's dry. I put rubber bands on different stuff, so I know, okay, if there's a rubber band on it, that means there was something wrong. It means either the reel needed to be greased or the tip-up got tangled up.
Sure.
It needs a new leader. It needs a new tip-up line. And, it's 7, 8 o'clock before you're in the house. Then the same thing, a few hours later, here we go again. I love doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not complaining one bit, but it is a lot more work than the boat. Back that Ford right up to that Lund, and we're gone.
Yeah.
It's right.
Yeah, you got everything right in the boat.
Well, I don't know how you do it, but if you had a big enclosed trailer that you have really good ice where you could just have everything inside of there for ice fishing, it'd be real easy. But Delavan's got a weight limit on it.
Yeah.
And who's to say that we're going to have 2 feet of ice?
Right.
Where you could drag it out. And what's Delavan, 1,000-pound weight limit?
1,000 pounds, yeah.
All right, so with that and the 4-wheeler, that wouldn't work.
No.
So it is what it is. I'm sure there's a better method to do what we do, but we're pretty efficient. Customers are pretty happy.
Good.
So that's all that really matters to us.
Yeah.
Speaking of ice, do you have any Humminbird Ice 35s in stock?
I believe I do. I'm pretty sure I got a 35, 45, and possibly a 55 in stock. But I know I got a 35 and a 45.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but simple. At 35, they work great.
That's a great unit. That's a nice flasher.
Right, they work great for us. I'm not a Vlexar guy just because my boat comes equipped from Johnson Outdoors. It's got the Humminbird, the Minn Kota, familiar with the product. Like the 5s and the 7s that I have for the ice, I have the chips in them. You just take them out of my boat, put them in those. So everything stays the same, and I just know how to use the unit really good.
Yeah.
But I'm just a huge fan of that Ice 35, and everybody that's used them has been, oh, wow, this is simple.
Yeah, I've been running the Helix 7 last couple of years, and I tell you, that's an amazing unit for ice fishing.
But ice fishing with you, so you have a 7, I have a 7. I swear I see just as much on my 35 as I do my 7.
Sure.
The only thing I like about my 7 is the mapping.
Mm-hmm.
It does, now that I've got waypoints downloaded, even though that your Lake Master chip tells you this is 12 feet when it's not, I know exactly where I want to be.
Right.
When you look at some of the other lakes that we fish walleyes at night, I know where the hole in the weeds are because I have them all pinpointed.
Yeah.
You just take that 7 with you. That takes a lot of guessing out of a lot of things.
Yeah.
But flat out jigging, I think them ice 35s are where it's at. Even the guys that use the Lexars,
Yeah.
That, what is the Dave Gents one? It's fairly reasonably priced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guns pack.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need anything high tech. The one thing I have noticed, though, with a lot of people is they start depending more on their electronics. If we're in 9 feet of water and we're jigging gills, I don't have a fish in 2 or 3 minutes and I started at the bottom and slowly worked my way up. I don't care what that thing says. It shows me fish or not. Those are not feeding active fish. I'm moving anyways.
Right.
And I do notice, and I've seen it with my customers, and sometimes I'm guilty of it too. I'll see them, so now I start changing. Now I start doing this, and they're still not feeding.
Yeah.
But I'll stay covered over something a lot longer than I should be.
I'm the same way. If I don't catch fish in 2-3 minutes, I'm moving. I'm changing jigs or baits, and it's like I'm out there. I want to catch fish. I don't want to sit in the same hole and play games with the fish that I see on the locator. So I'm moving.
What kills me, though, is when we do the walleyes at night. I would say then your electronics are a must.
Yeah.
Because then okay, now fish came in. Now fish is active. That's a game changer there.
Yeah, that's a little different targeting walleyes than bluegills and crappies.
Yeah, bluegills, crappies, even perch when we're hitting them out in 40 feet of water. I like the electronics.
Yeah.
You know when the school's there. You know that they went down. You know that they're up. You need to be in them. You need to be above them.
Mm-hmm.
Like what our friend Billy Heim does out there on Geneva with the lake trout.
Mm-hmm.
Electronics are a must.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, he's running the live scope or the...
I'm not too sure what he's running.
He's got... Oh, I forget what it
Maybe
is.
the standard Panoptics.
He's got the Panoptics, yeah. So my problem with that is it looks like a video game to me. I'd sit there and stare at it. Because once I get lazy, man, I'm done. I got to keep moving. I got to keep motivated.
I bought the live scope ice bundle this year. I'm going to play around with it.
How much is that?
It's not cheap.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't need any more toys.
Yeah. They're expensive. They're about $2,800. So oof. I saved up for quite a few years. So I wanted to get the regular Panoptics, and then they came out with the live scope, and it's like, oh yeah, I want that. So,
well, that's the thing with your electronics. Every year it's upgraded. How far do you really want to take it?
Yeah.
Where do you come to a point where, like simple with customers in the boat, we'll be bass fishing. I don't have the locator on. Well, why don't you have it on? How many bass you caught last hour? Or like 12, 14? I don't need it on. I know where I am. I mean, I've fished these lakes, like my dad said, as soon as I didn't need a diaper, I was on these lakes.
Right.
I know where I need to be. Now, chasing deep water suspended crappies, yeah, I'm running the locator. Chasing deep water smallies, yeah, I'm running the locator. Chasing muskies, absolutely.
Sure.
I know where I want that boat to be, and I want to stay on that edge, and I want that boat moving at 0.3 of a mile an hour when I'm casting.
Yeah.
That's completely different. But for a lot of things we do, I know where I want to be. I know what I want to do. And the locator comes immaterial for me. Trolling walleyes, locator's huge. I know I want to be on this edge. I want to use that electric motor to steer this boat. I want that kicker to push this boat. And I want to be completely hands-free so I can fish and make changes as needed. Speed, everything else that's uncontrolled by it. Then I think that's just kind of a game changer. But for me to spend $3,000 on a video game for the ice,
I like chasing perch. I want to give it a shot, trying to help me catch more perch and find them. Because I tell you, I've spent a day and 2 days drilling holes and dropping that flasher down, trying to locate the perch. And That's a long day of drilling holes just to locate them. And sometimes I haven't found them. Other times I have right away. I'll drill a couple holes and it's like, boom, there they are. But until you get a pattern going, it's tough finding them.
Well, that's one of the good things about guiding the ice. When we get on a good perch bite, like Delavins, or if we can get on Genevas, we can actually get into the bigger ones with a consistency.
Yeah.
Not where a guy's going to go home with 4 or 6 that are 10 inches or 12 inches. We're actually on them.
Right.
The more people you have with you, the better off you are. Because once you get into that school, if you can keep that school busy, that school will stay in one place.
Yeah.
When you got you and another guy, you pull a couple out of the school's gone. When I have 8 or 10 or 12 people with me, we start pulling 5, 6 apiece out of that school before the school leaves because we're keeping it busy.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge. Going out by yourself for perches on our lakes down here is horrible.
It's tough.
Well, you look at Pewaukee, every ice trip that we do walleyes out there, we pop 1 or 2 really big perch.
Yeah.
And, but then we're not consistent. We're actually fishing walleyes, so we'll start jigging perch and, or you'll get a bunch of small ones again, but then we'll get 1 or 2 that are just huge. And it's like,
yeah.
All right, we're in them. They'll both go on the same tip up, so then you'll drill holes around it, start jigging. Nothing. It's a heartbreak. It's like trolling Kashkanan in the spring when you're out there trolling walleyes. You'll get a couple really big perch, and then you could run back through them 10 times.
Sure.
Nothing. No consistency.
Yeah.
Unless your name's Adam Walton. He's got Kashkanan so tuned in. He's got to be the best guide out there that's ever been out there.
Nice.
He's just amazing on what he does on that lake. But again, it was in his backyard,
Sure.
as he grew up. So that makes a huge difference. And I listened to him talk one time because we're both sponsored by the same boat dealer. He's got it pretty scientifically tuned in.
Nice.
Besides the fact he's a great guy. So, and I heard, I listened to his podcast or Larry Smith's podcast with him. Just came up in my feeds yesterday.
Okay.
Listened to part of it. So he's just an amazing guy to listen to.
Yeah, I have to check that out. I haven't seen that one yet.
So what else you got going on?
Just work now. Getting ready for the ice season. Try to get out as much as I can. Do some ice fishing. I didn't go out open water fishing much this year. So,
Well, once you start renting boats here, though, you're done.
Yeah.
It's over with for you.
Yeah.
That takes your whole day, and especially with the amount of boat traffic we had this year. I saw you and Tony waiting half an hour to get a boat out.
Oh, it was crazy. Some days it was bad.
I would have lost it.
After years of renting boats and launching at Delavan, you just kind of learn to keep your cool and watch the show.
and that's what it is. I shouldn't say this on a podcast. We were coming off Geneva. Oh, God. August, July. I don't remember when it was. And I watched this guy he had his boat in front of me, and another guy had his boat in front of me, and I watched both of them. And I stood there. I was there for 10 minutes. I couldn't tie to the pier to go get my car. How they got it in the lake, I have no idea. So I finally put it on spot lock, and I got out, and I said, hey, let me go around you, man. I'll be out of here in less than a minute. I do this 200 times a year. And he said, well, I'm going to get it this time. Man, I'm not trying to be mean to you, but there's things called Walmarts, Home Depots, Lowe's, grocery stores. You should just try to back your trailer up straight. Just one, there's nobody there. Go at 7 o'clock at night. Just practice it once or twice before you come to the launch. If I die and I wake up at a boat launch, I know I went to hell. I guarantee it. That's going to be how I know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like after 10 years of renting boats out here and launching and loading boats 5-10 times a day, every day throughout the summer, it's like I got it down pat. Zip, zip, zip. I don't waste any time. 30 seconds, in, out, done. So,
when I was with my dad down on Lake Barkley, back in June, we have 4 lanes coming off the lake. It's going to storm. There's pontoon boats, everything coming off. I've never seen that many boats come out of the water that fast. Even when they launched, them guys got it down pat.
Yeah.
I think it's here that somebody just gets their boat out for the first time and decides they're going to learn how to back it up at the boat launch.
Yeah. I seen a guy sink his truck right in the launch last year.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, I felt bad for the guy.
Yeah, I would have too.
It was a brand new truck, and forgot to put it in park. Hopped out of the truck, and it went right in. No,
that's horrible. That is
Yeah.
literally. So I think about that sometimes too when I don't set the emergency brake, even though my truck is brand new.
Mhm.
You know, all it takes is that transmission to just slip or
Yeah.
something. I mean, I know it never should, but you see pictures of it all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
One mistake I see a lot of people make though is they back when they're retrieving, they back in so far so the boat never centers on the trailer.
Yeah.
So then they're in the water after it.
that's like the most common thing that I see is people back their trailer in way too far.
Yep.
You know, it's better to keep it out and drive the boat on or pull it on and
Well, my
make it a lot easier loading.
once my back wheel wells are sticking out of the water by about 2-3 inches, my boat drives on perfect.
Yeah.
Every time with very little power, and
Yeah.
it'll stay there. When I launch, when the back of my boat starts to float, usually I throw it in park and I go out and turn the motor on, and it just takes very little power, and I get it right off, tie it up.
Sure.
But you watch people throw it in so far, and same thing coming to in retrieval mode. Good thing is we don't get to see that here for about 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah. There you go, dog. You can start a backing up school. Learn how to back up your boat and launch your boat and load your boat.
Yeah, I'll do that in my spare time. Can we do that? Classes from midnight to 3:30 a.m.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't need sleep. But I just, just try it. You got Walmarts everywhere. You got Home Depots, Lowe's,
Yeah.
grocery store. There's a lot of parking lots. You could just try to back up straight.
Yeah.
Big thing is I watch people, they overcorrect. It starts to go one way and then they freak.
Yep.
And I get that people don't get to do it every day like we do.
Yeah.
But that was one of our things growing up. If we wanted to take the boat, we wanted to do anything, if you don't know how to back it up, you're not doing it.
Yeah. I remember when I was about 16, me and my buddy went fishing, just got a truck and hooked up the boat. And I tell you, launched the boat fine, but then when we went to load it, trying to back up the truck and trailer, it wasn't happening. So I just had like a little John boat at the time. So me and my buddy just picked up the boat, carried the boat out of the water, and set it on the trailer because there's a line of guys just looking at us, and it's like, oh man, I don't know how to back up a truck, but a trailer.
In my younger days, I might have took the trailer off and pushed it down there and hooked back onto it.
Oh yeah.
When we were in the 14-foot John boat or 12-foot
Yeah.
boat. Yeah, I might have done something like
Yeah.
that. But I mean, now my boat's so heavy, I don't think I could move it around if I wanted to.
No, that thing's a beast.
Well, my new one supposedly will be here March 1st. The only thing I changed this year, every year it's a Lund 1875 Impact XS.
Yeah.
I can go into whatever I want. That boat works for me. The only thing I changed this year was I took that Tarova from 80 pounds to 112. Because a lot of times we had so much wind and things like that, I couldn't run the third trip because my batteries were dying.
Sure.
Beaver at the boat dealership told me I should get about 30% more out of it.
Nice.
So I went from 36 volts or from 24 volts to 36. So you figure 30%, it's another 3-4 hours. Well, there's another trip.
Sure.
And then you saw us chasing muskies when it was 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Well, we got them.
Yeah.
That's the only time you'll ever see me with the cover up on that boat. In the gust we had a few weeks ago, with my cover up, my Bimini cover strapped to my windshield and everything, I could run that electric motor for about 8 hours.
Wow.
And then, because it's got a big kite over it.
Sure.
So right around 3 o'clock, 3:30, we're done, and I want to be on the foot of that moon. I want to stay till dark.
Yeah.
And so the 112 should give me a few more hours.
I would think so.
That's what everything said, and it was only like a $340 difference.
Nice.
So that's the only thing I changed on that boat.
Sure. That's a nice boat. I like that boat.
Well, you fished out of it. It works perfect. It's perfect to have kids in it. It's perfect to have adults in it. It's perfect if it's just 3 guys we're chasing. I can run 4 people in it if I want to. It's where it starts to get crowded.
Yeah.
Muskies, I just like me and 2 other people. I hate having a third person in there.
Sure.
It's just not right. fishing and panfish over the side of the boat or whatever, hell, I don't care how many people we put in there, as long as it's safe.
Yeah.
You put 3 kids, 2 adults, we're fine.
Yeah. How many muskies did you end up with this season?
Fall run or spring run?
In the fall.
Fall, we started, God, I think a week after Labor Day. I could be off a fish or 2, but my last number is 37.
Nice.
So, and everyone is swimming.
Nice.
I was listening to I know I'm jumping around here. I was listening to one of Pete Mayna's podcasts. So, where guys say, hey, we're not keeping them, we're going to fish them when it's 80 degrees out, blah, blah, blah. One of the numbers he had, and this is a proven number, for every one fish that you see floating, there's 8 or 9 that you don't see that just go to the bottom. And I thought about that because you read some of the lake links and some of the other stuff, and all these guys are protect them. Well, yeah, I'm big into protecting them. You've seen how much money I've spent on making sure these fish go back alive. And then you see these other guys out there, water's 81, 82, and they're out there throwing. They're probably the same guys that are on lake links saying protect them. And then they say, well, the fish got released, it swam away. Well, that's where the question comes up, did it swim away? So for every one you see float, it was either 8 or 9 are dead on the bottom.
That's a lot of fish.
How many you got in Geneva that survived?
Right.
So that's just, something good to know.
Yeah.
This year, thank God, every fish I had 1 bleeder out of the 37 we got this fall. We got her to stop. She swam away. I think we caught her again a week later.
Okay.
Not positive, but she was right back where she was supposed to be. I think we caught her again. But every one after that, I never had a bleeder. I never had one that was out too long.
Nice.
I was really fortunate. I lost a couple lures because I had to get down there and bust them in half with the bolt cutters.
Sure.
But I was very fortunate. I never, as far as to the best of my knowledge, I never hurt a fish this year.
Nice.
Or a muskie this year. Other fish, yeah, sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
That made me feel good because I go home and it bothers me. It's like, man, if I would have done this different, or if I would have done this different.
Oh, yeah. I've seen how you are with certain fish, and it's like, oh, man, it sucks that hook got too deep or whatever, and it's like, I had to keep it and whatnot.
Well, you look at Todd, my neighbor that you've met. He's got 42 avid muskie fishermen. Got him his biggest muskie this year of his life.
Nice. How big was it?
46 or 47.
That's a good fish.
34 pounds.
Nice.
Then Mike Juneman, same thing. Average muskie fisherman. He's 50 years old. Got him his biggest this year, 48.
Nice.
A bunch of other people that we've had got them their biggest, or got them their first, or first day they've ever got 2. Things like that. So those are memories that's once in a lifetime memory.
Yeah.
My biggest or my first. Those are things you always remember.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been probably overly protective. I've had people call all summer for them. Everybody's telling me you're a fish and a half a trip on a muskie trip. Well, just with that being said, though, too, just so everybody knows, I've had 3 muskie days and I've had 4 muskie days. So I've also had days where there's been blanks.
Sure.
It's not, I can't guarantee you one. I'll do everything I possibly can. You listen to me, you can stay active and you can cast. We're going to do pretty good. Trolling's a coin toss. I like having my destiny in my hands.
Sure.
Not in that kicker motor's hands. I want to be able to control it because I want to get a better chance of getting my numbers up there. When we're trolling, it's a crapshoot. You're pouring a cup of coffee, you're watching the planer boards, you're watching your long lines.
And just letting the lure do its work instead of you actually working the rod and stopping.
Right,
and
you don't get the pausing,
and whatever.
You don't get I need a softer twitch because I watched this fish back away 10 feet from the boat.
Yeah.
I need a faster twitch because this one chased it to the boat, but I screwed up. I took it out of the water. I lost action in it.
Yeah.
I want the odds in my favor. I've been doing everything I can to be just overly protective with them things.
Sure.
Hopefully next year our numbers are even more. We're getting better and better at Geneva muskies. So our main muskie lakes in southeast Wisconsin, Geneva, Pewaukee. They get some out of Tishigan. They get some out of the Fox. They get some out of Oconomowoc, Okachi. Geneva relatively has been stocked, 9 years now with muskies, and we're pulling 46s, 47s. We're pulling 30-pound fish. So relatively, it's a new fishery to us. Some of my patterning out there, what my spring pattern was 2 years ago, I was lights out. I didn't care, bright, sunny, whatever. We're hitting one.
Yeah.
Coming at it this year, same pattern, didn't work. My fall pattern last year, I was in really good shape. This year, Mike Juniman got in the boat with me, and he said, man, I want to learn more than I want to catch. He's like, I was doing what you showed me last year. It's not working. I'm like, you're right, it's not. So here we go. Took 2 days off, and God bless him, he stuck with me for 2 days in that boat for 10 hours a day.
Wow.
And, okay, now we got a pattern established again. This worked today. And then developing as you're going. Big thing with all the fish that we do, everything's a seasonal pattern, but for bass, crappies, walleyes, perch, the same thing works the next season.
It never really changes.
Right. Them muskies in Geneva, Chaos built me a bunch of double cowgirls that were the exact color pattern I've been using, been doing great on. I've been hit once on them this fall.
Wow.
Last fall, I was lights out on them. Go figure.
Yeah.
You know, I'm throwing things that I wouldn't normally throw.
Why do you think it changes like that with the muskie?
I don't know. I've never seen them. Pewaukee, I can go to, and I can do a pattern that I've done years ago, and it'll produce. Geneva's pattern, I just don't know. Because when we're running walleyes, we're running the same lures on Geneva. When we're running bass, by day, my color might change, but my pattern's the same. You know, Elder Magic might have worked better today. Tomorrow's that cinnamon flake, things like that. So, but it's still the same thing. With them muskies this year, it was just different. The only good thing was once we tuned into them, we really tuned into them. So nice. You've seen all the pictures on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
We got in them good. I won't be chasing them again until spring, and I won't chase them until the water hits about 52. That seems to be when Geneva turns back on.
Okay.
52, 54. Now, when you and I went out there and we caught all them pike that one spring night, and we were actually out there trolling walleye lures, and we caught 30, 40 pike in a few hours. Not any of them were big.
Right.
Man, we had a blast.
Oh, yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, that's when we started recording, and we finally quit recording, because in our first 20 minutes, we had 7 fish.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, which one of us is holding this camera? And it's like, put it away. We're just fishing now.
Yeah.
But that's right about where she starts to turn back on is about that 52, 54, and then I'll chase them all the way up to about 70. Once at 74, 76, that water gets too warm, and I'm scared to hurt them. But then it's nice. You get a break, and you got something to look forward to in the fall.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I'm going to do next year the same as I did this year. Come October 1st, though, I'm going to shut her down and just nothing but muskies till December 1st. Quit chasing the walleyes at night and everything, and just stay with them, because, man, the memory and the payoff is huge. Our friend Mark Lesnick gave you the rods and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He said, muskie fishing is 99%. What the heck am I doing for 1%? Oh, my God, this is just literally amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get going on a couple rods for them.
Do you?
Yeah, dropped the ball on that. I was supposed to get him a couple rods done, and just didn't work out this year.
Oh, I'm sure he does. He's not complaining. He's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Well, he knows you're working.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody that works for a living understands. You about ready to go to LD's and get some barbecue?
Oh, that sounds good.
Sounds like a winner to me.
Probably do that.
Well, let's shut her down and let's get out of here and go eat some barbecue.
Hopefully next week we're going to try to pick back up with the podcast here and get back on our weekly schedule like we talked about, but things just got a little messed up this last fall. Got busy.
I started musky fishing 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You went hunting. I mean, it was hard to do. I don't know that we could just do it over the phone and it records that great.
Yeah. Yeah, might have to try that out if it doesn't work out to get together. But hopefully our next episode we'll be talking about ice fishing, how we're doing.
I hope so. I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
I can't be much more ready than I am. My brother's ready. I mean, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Renewed the guide license today.
Yeah. Renewed mine too. So
yeah, so we're good to go here, man. Life is good.
Oh yeah.
That's the nice thing of having a game board in your store today.
Yeah. That's proof right there. I got my guide license.
Yep, I got my one for next year.
Well,
it should change when your fishing license changes.
I agree. Instead of ending December 31st or whatever it is. So.
Right, because you forget about it. When your fishing license ends, okay, let's renew everything. Everything should be at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm good to go. I'm completely ready. I'm going to go downstairs, talk to your dad, have him order me 2,500 spikes and 2,500 waxies.
Yeah.
Start getting the ball rolling. When do you start getting shiners and everything in?
We'll be getting some in, what is today, Saturday? We'll probably get some in Monday. This week, we'll get some more in. So we got a little bit last week. There's still some guys using some shiners and suckers for pike and walleye and stuff. So, but we'll be, by next week, probably Friday, we should be pretty well stocked up with shiners, suckers, spikes, waxies.
Everything ready for the ice.
Yep. Be game on. So
this time of year, when you don't have many guys going out in the boat, and you have nobody on the ice, so you're not selling minnows, roaches. What do you do? Just not order for a couple weeks? And
yeah, just pretty much not really order much. Just kind of keep the orders down. And we like to have fresh bait for everybody. I don't want to be sitting on a ton of bait that's been sitting there for a few weeks. So
how long do they live in your tanks?
Quite a long time.
See, I've had minnows in the fridge in a 5-gallon pail in the fridge in the garage that have lived for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. But I mean, I really don't have bait sitting there for that long.
No, you guys don't. But I just wondered, when do you finally pull the trigger and say, once the lake's froze over, then you pull the trigger and say, start filling my bait tanks all the way?
Yep.
But with everything you got in your store, I don't think I've ever seen your store with this much inventory as you have right now.
Oh, we got a lot. We had a lot left over from last year, too. Last year
ice was horrible.
It was a crummy season. But yeah, we got a lot more jigs. We got the T-rips in, the Kenders, which are nice. New Acme rips. They're rattle rips. I forget what they call them. We just got them in. They're new this year. Those look pretty nice for the walleye.
Hopefully, if everything goes right, next week we'll have an announcement from Acme.
Yeah?
Hopefully.
Nice.
We'll find out.
Nice.
I should probably go home and check my mailbox.
Yeah,
Might help us too.
Doug's got some things in the works.
Well, so one of the things Robin and I know we were going to go eat, but one of the things Robin from Acme taught me was we were talking about the Hyperglide. So we do a lot of our walleyes on chicken wraps. We do a lot of them on shiver minnows through the ice. I said, man, I'm hitting that Hyperglide. I lose it off the screen. And he's like, because you're hitting it so hard. So for that thing to drop 4 feet when you've hit it that hard, takes it a couple seconds.
Sure.
He said, slow down with it a lot. And he's watch your numbers go through the roof. So that's what I'm excited about. Because some of the colors that he has the Hyperglides in, the way them things work, really simple. Slow it down a lot, which
okay.
I'm a brute when it comes to stuff. I get in beast mode.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to try that again. Because there's just no reason them Hyperglides shouldn't just crush it out here.
Right.
Everything you ever... Well, why would a shiver minnow work and a Hyperglide wouldn't?
Right.
Because it's in that order. Jig and Wrap does this. Shiver minnow does better. That Hyperglide should hit it out of the park. That's one thing he taught me. And one of the other things he taught me, and I said, I'm as beaver dam as the next guy. I'm huge into my beaver dam
yes, you are.
Well,
I am too. I love my beaver dam tip-ups.
It's like a knife fight to get me to not use them.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a couple Frables and I got a couple off-brand. We talked about how come my beaver dam hook up on my walleyes, I'm like 75%. You go sometimes 80%. It depends if they're feeding good or not.
Sure.
You're always going to have a couple drops on it no matter what you're using. Even with the Frables and the clams and the other ones, you can loosen that spring all the way up. Just enough so that it can't pop the flag. The minnow can't pop the flag itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have drops. You still have drops, still have drops, still have drops. That beaver dam, you don't. So what he explained to me is, even though you have very little tension on that spring stopping that spool is still vibrating as it's coming out.
Mm.
It sends vibration on the line when you get into them sensitive fish at night. The walleyes and that's why they're dropping it.
Okay.
That's why the way that beaver dam's greased, there's no friction, there's no nothing. That beaver dam's just flowing smooth.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's an interesting fella to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he designs everything,
Yeah.
too, so... That's why we gave away a bunch of Kalins last week. And
nice.
hopefully on Facebook I'll give away some this week.
Yeah.
I think I'm giving away one of your gift cards this week.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been doing your giveaway that you do every year, so which is pretty cool.
It's time to just keep the page active. You know, it's getting to be Christmas. People love having something.
Oh, yeah,
I
definitely.
like getting something, too. So I got a lot of things coming in the mail.
Nice.
Yeah, well, good old, how my buddies at Okuma treat me.
Oh, yeah.
It's that time of year.
Sweet. Sweet.
I got a lot of things coming, so like I said, I got the new tip downs came. I got the Christmas presents from Okuma coming. I got some new cameras coming from them, actually.
Nice.
Christ, I can't even think of it. Billy's painting me jig and wraps, which I know you carry too.
Yeah.
Again, anything that you see that you can order on Amazon or anywhere else, Lakeside Bait and Tackle can deliver to your door. And 90% of the time, they are cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I hate that when people say that. Well, I just ordered it online. Okay. Well, Bait Store could have got it. You'd have saved money.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And they knew what you needed.
Right.
You know.
We do carry a lot of stuff you will not see online or anywhere else. So, and plus, we're geared up for the lakes around here. Delavan, especially Delavan, Geneva, some of the other surrounding lakes.
Oh, yeah. You do a lot for all of us.
Yeah.
You've got to be, south of 94, you got to be the biggest bait store.
I believe I am.
Yeah. We're definitely the most inventory.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be...
Most quality inventory. There's almost everything in your store is something I use.
Yeah.
It's not like walking into a big box store where it's like, the heck would I do with that?
Right.
What would I do with that? Or what the heck's that for?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I could have in here, but it just doesn't make sense for the lakes around the area. It wouldn't work.
I get that a lot where I get people, and you know me, I love everybody, but I'll get people that'll come up and I'll say, hey, we were using this. We got 6 largemouth yesterday. Okay. And it's like, yeah. He's like, well, if you get if you buy these, you'd be doing as good as we are. And you just smile. How am I supposed to say, well, my first trip, which was 4 hours, we had 39.
Yeah.
My second trip, we had almost 50. So,
right.
And I know everybody means well, but when you see things on a bargain bin at Fleet Farm or any of them, there's a reason they're in there.
No one wants them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm bad that way with musky lures, all because that's where I get some of my musky hooks. Because this lure was $2, so all I need to do is cut the hooks off. Or some of my blades that I went out when we're building double cowgirls.
Yeah.
You'll see the $6. Ooh, I like that blade. I like them beads. Okay, so I'll buy it just to cut it apart. But other than that, there's a reason why that bait didn't sell.
No.
Because none of us are using it. Everybody likes pretty.
Oh, yeah.
My stepdaughter years ago, she helped me clean my boat. I get in the boat a few days later. Actually, I think it might have been one afternoon you and I walleye fished together, 8-10 years ago. And I'm looking for purple harnesses. And I'm like, where the heck are they? I can't find chartreuse. I can't find, the old VNC ones with the holograph on them.
Sure.
Man, they're always on this. They're always in here. I call home and I was like, hey, did we put them in the garage? She's like, no, they're not in that box. I said, what do you mean they're not in that box? She's like, well, I rearranged everything by pretty. So that's a memory I'll have for the rest of my life. Yeah. Well, but a lot of people, because it's pretty, I got to buy it, or because it caught my eye.
Yeah.
That doesn't always work, because believe me, I got a whole room full of stuff that caught my eye.
Oh, yeah.
That's
how they get you.
300 times, and I'm like, man, it's got to work. It's got to work. Or it could be ugly, and it's got to work. It's got to work. Well, I guess that's just part of it.
Yeah. I'm amazed at some of the customers that come in, and they're looking for a specific jig, and they show me, and I got it, and they're like, this is the only one that works. This is it. And I look at it, and it's like, how can you catch fish on there? I would never use that. And it's like, so that got me thinking years ago. It's like, I'm going to start trying stuff that I don't think catches fish. Wow. It's so surprising that some of the stuff you don't think is going to work works the best. I don't know what it is, but it's all about the manufacturers. They make it look. Oh, you spilled your coffee.
Oh boy,
man! They make it look pretty for us. It catches our eye and not the fish's eye.
Did you notice on my Facebook, I put that dive chart? God, it's probably 2 months back on my guide page. How the colors. It had a whole spectrum of colors, and it showed how they change every 10 feet down in the water column.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, because now when you look at some of the lures we run, and it's like, man, so this doesn't look like that. Like everybody talks about red hooks. First color to dissipate in the water column. Yeah, well, it takes about 50 feet for it to get invisible.
Sure.
Not saying that I don't use red hooks, because I do. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of things, when you look at that it's blue 5 feet down, and then it's yellow 30 feet down, even though it's the same color, and then you start thinking, man, what are them fish seeing that?
Right.
What's natural to them in that? And then, as always, your perch patterns always outfish everything.
Yeah.
Your bluegill patterns outfish everything. Pumpkin sea, it's so... Who knows what they think or what they see. It's interesting, and I've read so much stuff on it, and I finally just got to the point where what I've learned about a lot of articles is out of 100% of reading an article, usually 5 or 10% works for us. Things that work down by my dad down in Tennessee on Lake Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things down there for crappies work up here. A lot of things that we do for bass down there I would never do up here.
Sure.
Down there we're throwing these 10-inch plastics and big salamander-looking things, and I'm killing them just like I'm throwing a finesse worm up here.
Wow.
And you throw a finesse worm on, and they don't want nothing to do with it. Wow. It's weird.
Yeah. I guess it's just natural bait is what they're normally eating, so it mimics that.
Well, you could take Geneva, Delavan, and Kashkanan, 3 lakes that are relatively close to each other. What you troll on Kashkanan, what you troll on Delavan, and what you troll on Geneva, if you want to have a successful walleye trip, are all 3 different presentations. The same lures that I use on Delavan, I do not use on Kashkanan.
Sure.
Same ones I use on Kashkanan, I do not use on Geneva. Well, in Geneva's defense, though, is you can't get something small and fast, and how many rock bass do you want to take off?
Right.
Once I start setting boards, I want nothing to do with them rock bass, because it's always the outside board. You've been in the boat. It's always the one that's going to make a mess.
Yeah.
And then it'll be the big pike or something that we weren't trying to catch it. It's always the outside board.
Yeah.
It's got to come across 2 of the other ones. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, this time of year, everything is just pretty patterned. Either live bait or troll slow.
Sure.
So the slower you control right now for them walleyes, better off you are.
Yeah.
It's how I've been doing them. So I see a lot of guys go screaming past me, but it's whatever bait you can have the action in right now at a slower speed.
Yeah.
You're
slowing down to like 1.2 or 0.8 right in that area?
No, I'm 1.2, 1.4.
Yeah.
I know some guys go slower. It depends what lures you got. You still got to have action in that lure. But now's the time of year where you want to get away from your bandits and your things that got the big thump and action.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong time of year for it. A little bit less action, a little bit slower, keeping the strike zone longer.
Sure.
So, and I'm not going to give it all away. Even though I'm done guiding until ice, I'm still not giving it away because somebody will say, like, remember that guy when you and I came up to Delavan? Oh, God, that had to be 8-9 years ago, too. Brad, my walleye bite died. After work, man, we need to go out here and tune these in.
Yeah.
We had a couple pictures of a couple walleyes, and the guys, and on the side of my boat, you could see I had a pile of lures. So this rocket scientist, Einstein, sends me a message on Lake Links. I'd never have to hire you because I know what you were using. My response.
I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
The reason there's 10 lures laying on the side of that boat is because none of them worked.
Yeah.
So try again, buddy.
Yeah.
I was like, are you really that lazy, man? Come on. Stare at my picture to try to figure out what I'm using.
Yeah.
That's just, it was funny. Yeah, I remember. I'll never forget. That's another one that you just remember forever.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, we kept here. Let's put snaps on so we can keep changing.
Yeah.
Run half an hour, it didn't work. Change speeds. Let's turn. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try different depths. Yeah, we went out. God, we were out there 5-6 hours and we worked.
Yeah.
The next day, me and Tim Bromley were out for 9 hours to tune something in. And then I think I was out with you when I finally got it tuned back in. And then I started guiding again the following week. But I canceled trips because my walleye bite just... And my summer walleye bite on Delavan is usually pretty decent as long as it's not a weekend.
Yeah.
But man, I'll never forget that. I went in panic mode. So, oh my God, I got all these trips and I can't get nice walleyes to this boat.
Yeah.
That's what it sucks being my friend when you know you're going to be in the boat and it's going to be a knife fight until I figure out what the heck happened.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, that's all right, though.
I do that to a lot of people. Some of my friends, when I say, hey, let's go fish, it's not because I'm catching fish. It's usually because I need to figure something out.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry that you have to be a victim.
Yeah, that's all right.
Probably what Mike Juneman thought of me all fall. Why do I got to be the victim?
Yep.
You notice my second to last trip was my neighbor Todd, one of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
He made sure I had it tuned in before he got in the boat for muskies.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said. I wasn't going to be a victim.
Nice.
Yeah. That guy walked past my house for 2 days. Walk in. Dude, I got a muskie. My phone text would go off. Bro, I got muskie.
Nice.
And this grown man was just pumped. That's so cool.
Sweet.
That's where it's at.
Nice.
But let's go get some food, brother.
All right. We'll call it. And I guess stay tuned for hopefully next week when we got some ice and be out there doing our ice reports and fishing, getting out on the ice.
I would say next week I might not ramble so much, but we know that's a lie. So.
Yeah. We're unprofessional.
I didn't know we forced you to listen.
Yeah. It's our podcast.
I was told, you and I talked about this from some of the podcast stuff we read. If you want to do one, just sit down and talk like you're talking. Don't sit there, facts, figure. Don't try to be, that's what we're doing. And everybody but one has been pretty happy with us. So.
No. Oh, well. You always got that one.
Right? The best part was when you said that our recording sucks. Well, damn, dude. If that's the way it is, then give us some money. We'll go buy some really state-of-the-art stuff. I could spend somebody else's money real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good at that.
Oh, yeah.
So, believe me, I know all my ex-wife's needs.
I think we're set up pretty well for what we got, so.
Hey, everybody's happy with us.
Yeah.
So, I read that on one of the YouTubes that we did, too, the other day, where a guy says, your recording equipment sucks. Well, that's the difference is we're out fishing, and if we get a minute, we'll try to do a video. If we don't have a minute, we don't try to do one. When we do things like that, we usually do them off the phone. When we do actually go out to do something like the ice report, then we use the camera and everything else.
Yeah.
You don't like something, I'm sorry. But
that's the way it is.
Right. What pays my bills is catching fish.
Yeah.
So
what we're doing here is just fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And we get to keep saying LD's barbecue because I'm hungry.
Maybe he'll be a sponsor of the show next week.
Oh, heck, he'd do anything for us. I love that guy.
Leon's good shit.
He's good. He is flat out one of the nicest guys around.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Okay.
Out of here.
See you, Doug.
See you, buddy.